Welcome back. An estimated 300,000 sports-related traumatic brain injuries occur in the U.S. each year, and recognizing the risk is important not only for players but also parents, coaches, trainers, anybody really who deals with these young athletes. And here to tell us more about an effort to raise awareness of concussions, we're pleased to welcome Sarah Sloan, the Director of Family Outreach for the Brain Injury Alliance of Kentucky. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having us.
You know, we're getting into all the sports camps and seasons are getting ready to start picking up with school in a few weeks. And what is it that the Brain Injury Alliance is trying to do to inform folks about the risk of sports injuries?
You know, we're almost 2 weeks into the football high school season, and that number of 300,000 injuries are reported, and a lot of concussions go unreported. So what we're trying to do is to raise awareness on the signs and symptoms, not only to the coaches and athletic trainers, but also to the parents, and for the players to make them feel comfortable in telling someone that they have these signs or symptoms and reasons why they shouldn't keep these quiet. We like to provide this training in hopes in preventing future concussions and injuries. We know that second impact syndrome can oftentimes be fatal or cause long-term disabilities if the first concussion isn't realized.
And the training really has different benefits for different people depending on how they're involved. You were telling me that parents, for example, get a different set of tools and information than maybe what the coaches or trainers would get, right?
Right. The parents, we do a little bit more assertiveness, a little bit more that this is your child and your mom, your dad, you have the final say. No matter if coach says he can go back on the field, you know if your child isn't ready to play yet. And so giving them those tools and what they need to look for. Even a few weeks back, 2 weeks ago, Johnny was hit on the head. Maybe that's why he's having difficulty with homework now, or he's a little restless. And also for parents of younger children, they can't always give us those verbal signs and symptoms, but we start our kids in sports at such a younger age now that it's important to realize, even if it was just a fall, not necessarily a sport, but cues that they might give, like fatigue, or they're not interested in their toys anymore. Just letting the parents know what it is to look for and what resources there are for them.
And I know one of the things that's a challenge to physicians sometimes with concussions is so many of the symptoms are self-reported. And if a player wants to stay in the game, they may not say that they blacked out or something like that. So they need to know what to recognize as well.
Exactly. And we hope to have a lot of players who have had concussions come and speak to them about why it's important to, they feel, that warrior mentality and they want to win the game, but why it's important to alert your coach, sit out one game rather than the rest of the season.
And tell us about how folks can get involved if they're interested in this training.
If they're interested, they can contact us, the Brain Injury Alliance of Kentucky. We're working with several other organizations to create KCAN, which is a Kentucky Concussion Alert Network, and we'll have that website up and running soon. But for now, they can log on to our website or contact us through email to set up those trainings. We're happy to do it free of charge.
And you see the information there at the bottom of your screen. As she mentioned, it's free, and you can't stress enough how serious it is. Like you said, it may be something at the time that doesn't seem like that big of a deal, but you don't want to run the risk of a significant impact over their lives. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to share that important information.
Thank you.
Again, contact information from the Brain Injury Alliance of Kentucky at the bottom of your screen. We'll be right back with